better. So has everybody cooled off yet? I don't know that I am, but it's still pretty warm. And I just want to say good afternoon and welcome to the Sweetgrass Singers Saturday afternoon extravaganza. So we're inside and we're not outside, so we're a little bit cooler in here, so this is a good thing. We're all happy that you're here to spend this afternoon with us, with the Sweetgrass Singers, and our director over here who's incognito today. That's Miss Cynthia Laura. She's been director. Thank you. Before we begin our show, I want you to take all of these things out of your pocket. Do you know what this is? I'm not sure I do, but take it out and put it on, what? Oh, it's a noisemaker. That's right, it's a Chinese noisemaker, right? Oh, if I shake it, I get a flashlight out of it. So put it on Do Not Disturb or turn it off so that we don't have any interruptible moment. So your program shows that Carl Cartilage is supposed to open the show today. Unfortunately, Carl isn't able to be here today because he's homesick. So they've asked me to fill in for Carl. I'm Alan Sturdivant, and I look just like Carl, don't I? You know, we're twins. I got the hair. Well, that's another story. But anyway, I'm glad to be here with us today. Our program features several familiar tunes that we grew up singing, dancing, and listening to in the 60s and the 70s. They were recorded by such familiar artists such as Simon and Garfunkel, the Everly Brothers, the Mamas and the Papas, Willie Nelson, and many others. Our opening number is one that we are inviting you, our audience, to join in with the chorus on each refrain. It's a familiar number first recorded in 1968 by Welsh singer Mary Hopkin, and later by Dolly Parton. The words are in your program, and after the fourth time we'll repeat the last three lines a little slower. Those Were the Days revolves around a group of friends as they gather in a tavern through the years. There with their singing and dancing, they share their joys as well as their dreams. Our accompanist today is Mr. Dean Jones. Once upon a time there was a tavern. We used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the great things we would do. Those were the days, my friend, we love together and we sing and dance forever and a day. We live a life we choose, we fun and nervous, for we were young and sure we had our way. Then the busy years would rushing by us. We lost our emotions on the way. If by chance I see you in the tavern, we'd smile at one another and we'd say, those were the days, my friend, we love together and we sing and dance forever and a day. We live a life we choose, we fun and nervous, for we were young and sure to have our way. Just tonight I stood before the tavern. Nothing seemed the way it used to be. In the glass I saw a strange reflection. Was that lonely fellow really me? fantastic job. Fact of the matter is, come and join us sometime. We practice on Thursday night in the same room at 5 p.m. We practice Tuesday. Thursday, old timers is kicking it. Anyway, we meet on Tuesday night in the same room at 5 p.m. And our next number is not one we sang or danced to, but is one we sat and listened to in such movies as How the West Was Won in 1962, and as well as the 1966 Jimmy Stewart Western by the same name. A few notes about this number. The Shenandoah referred to in this song refers not to the river or valley in Virginia, but to a legendary Indian chief with that name. It is first known to be sung by the French, American, and Canadian fur traders as they sailed down the Missouri River in the early 1800s. The singer refers to his being cast away by the chief after falling in love with Chief Shenandoah's daughter. Knowing this origin enables us to understand the story in this song. Now we invite you to sit back and listen as the Sweetgrass Singers present the American folk classic, Shenandoah.
Hey, thank you for that. Our next song that we have up for you right now was Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime. was supposed to be sung by Bill Hubert. Bill, however, is also out sick today. Now, we were going to scratch this little number here, but Marty Steen has stepped up to the plate and he says, I want to sing it. Now, he's never rehearsed this song with us before, and he's singing it a cappella. Really. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much. Here's Marty.
Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace. There's no telling where love may appear. Something in my heart keeps saying, my somewhere is here. If I had it in my power, I would arrange for every girl to have your charms. Then every minute, every hour, some lucky guy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love made it well worth the waiting for someone like you. Come on, guys, help me out. I would arrange for every girl to have your charms. Then every minute, every hour, some lucky boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love made it well worth waiting for someone like you.
I didn't know we were supposed to say what you do. Yeah, we're done. Is the line open? Yeah. All right. Hey guys, our next song is going to be a tribute to the Everly Brothers. Now, this group started off in 1957, and they were really terrific. They blended country and pop music together. Probably one of the first groups to do so. So right now, we're going to be doing a tribute to the Everly Brothers.
Dream, 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 dream.
costume for this one. She made me leave the other 6 at home. This next song is unforgettable. It was created by Irving Gordon and recorded by Nat King Cole in 1951 with arrangement by no other than Nelson Ridley. Then, in 1991, of all people, Elvis Presley's musical director, Joe Garcia, had this great idea of taking Cole's original 1951 recording, editing it and reworking it in the studio to create a duet with his daughter, Natalie Cole. This song won 3 awards at the 34th Grammy Awards in 1992, Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Best Traditional Pop Vocal Performance. Nat King Cole's original recording from 1951 was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in year 2000. But wait, there's more. Incredibly, the original song was published with the title of Undeniable, then Incomparable. But Irving Gordon was soon convinced by the producers to change it, and he did so. Can you imagine hearing this song today saying, undeniable, or incomparable? Unbelievable. So now, here with our guest singer, Holly V, we are here to sing for you Natalie Cole's Grammy Award-winning duet, Unforgettable. Holly.
I didn't get the costume memo. Sorry about that. I love the hat, Charlie. He looks very gangster, doesn't he? I feel like with Frank Sinatra over here.
Unforgettable. That's what you are. Like a song of love that clings to me. Out of love, you just brings to me. Never before as someone been more
Unforgettable in every way.
and forevermore.
And forevermore,
That's how you'll say.
that's how you'll stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable
Thinks that
I am You like the choreography?
took us 3 weeks to learn this.
Aren't they fabulous? No.
Yes, I knew that. All right. Our next song is a solo performance for an arrangement by our pianist, Dean Jones. It's amazing. As many of y'all know, Can't Help Falling in Love is one of my favorites. and I sing it to karaoke with my wife Judy all the time. So I ordered the piano arrangement and asked Dean to come over and give me some instruction on how to play this thing. And during one of our lessons, after 15 brutal, agonizing minutes, I finally got through it, and I finally started playing O Solo Mio, which is what Elvis turned into It's Now or Never, right? So Dean told me afterwards, after that brutal 15 minutes, he said, I wrote a melody for this thing, and it's got both of those songs in it. I said, oh, that's great, Dean. I said, would you like to play it for us? And for me? And he says, yeah, sure, be happy to. And it was incredible, let me tell you what. And I never took another piano lesson after that. So Dean wasn't with our singers back then, but I asked him, I said, look, the occasion never arrives, you gotta do this for us. And so, here he is, 2 years later, after doing this incredible medley for us, a gifted musician, truly gifted musician, Dean Jones. Now do you understand why I haven't played piano since? Certainly not asking him to come over and give me lessons. Thanks, Dean, for a truly remarkable performance. You know, before Dean came on board, I wrote an arrangement for this song because we performed this song at a lot of our nursing home and assisted living visits that we do. And you cannot believe the smiles and the looks of these residents' faces when we do this thing. It's sheer glee and fond remembrances of days gone by. If you'd like to be part of our troupe, hey, we rehearse here every Tuesday evening at 5 o'clock. You know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Talk to any of us after the show, and don't be shy. Next up is California Dreaming. Yep. Written by John and Michelle Phillips of the Mamas and Papas. But you know what? It was first recorded by Barry McGuire years before that, and ironically, the Mamas and Papas sang backup on that track. It wasn't until years later that they recorded their own version of the song, and is now ranked number 89 on the Rolling Stones 500 Greatest Hits. California Dreaming. All right, we have to get the copy for this kid. Everybody ready here? Can't see too many. Probably good. You can do it. Get the button in the middle. The one with the arrow. Don't press the one that says explode.
The song "Stand By Me" was a 1961 hit recorded by Ben King and written by the legendary songwriting team of Jerry Lieber and Mike Stroller. The song has been recorded by over 400 artists and was featured in the coming-of-age movie Stand By Me in 1986.
Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, thanks, folks. Really appreciate that. Well, very supportive, great audience. You know, many of you here today recall that we sang, our group sang The Sound of Silence at the recent Memorial Day event. We would like to perform it today, though, again, but from a different perspective. That of remembering being young and idealistic in the late 1960s. But first, a story. This is the story of friendship and love. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Everybody knows the iconic Simon and Garfunkel's opening line, but there's an amazing story behind that, and I'd like to share that with you. It began over 60 years ago when Art Garfunkel met a good friend of his, Sandy Greenberg, in college. They became best of friends immediately, and with the idealism of youth, they promised to be there for one another no matter what. Shortly thereafter, Sandy got some tragic news. He learned he would become blind, completely blind, due to severe glaucoma. He was devastated and depressed. He gave up his dream of becoming a lawyer and cut off all contact with all of his friends. Suddenly, one day to Sandy's shock, Art shows up at his front door. He convinced Sandy to give college another go, give it a try. And he promised that he would be right there by his side. So even though Sandy had been plunged into a world of darkness, Art had felt that Sandy should never feel alone and actually started calling himself Darkness. One day, as Art was guiding Sandy through a crowded Grand Central Station there in New York, he suddenly said he had to go. Alone and petrified, Sandy stumbled, fell, bumped into people. After a couple of hellish hours, he finally got on the right train, and after exiting at the right station, Sandy immediately bumped into someone and immediately recognized Art's voice, who had apologized. Turned out his trusty friend had followed him the whole way, making sure he was not only safe, but giving him the priceless gift of independence. Sandy later said, "That moment was the spark that caused me to live a completely different life, without fear and without doubt. For that, I am tremendously grateful to my friend." Sandy subsequently graduated from Columbia and then earned graduate degrees at Harvard and Oxford. He married his high school sweetheart and became an extremely successful entrepreneur and philanthropist. But while Sandy was at Oxford, he got a call one day from his friend Art, who needed $400 to record an album with his high school buddy, Paul Simon. Yeah. Sandy and his wife literally had $404 in their bank account, and he gave Art what he needed, the $400. So, Art and Paul, that first album was not really a big success, a total flop. But there was one of the songs that stood out on that. It was The Sound of Silence, and it became a #1 hit only 1 year later. The opening line echoes the way that Sandy has always greeted Art. "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come
Okay, we're gonna take a 15-minute pause right here for you folks, okay? Make sure you get some snacks and some wine and drinks back there, and we'll see you back in about 15 minutes for the rest of the story. Thanks. Coming, huh? So she sews it all up, wraps it all up, and says, okay, you need to keep this above your heart, okay? I said, okay. Why? Well, all these fingers work here, but this one doesn't work. So I'm keeping it above the level of the heart. Jimmy's driving me home, we're sitting in the car like this, and I got this brilliant idea. I said, that's an armrest. So I put my arm on the armrest there, and I'm driving home like this, and all of a sudden people are honking their horns. Well, I guess it didn't work out too bad. So anyway, it's all good. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They were reciprocating in kind. You know, being from New Orleans, I grew up listening to the music from Louis Armstrong, Pete Fountain, and Al Hurt, to name a few of the greats that are down there. You know, it's kind of like red beans and rice on Mondays for me. Y'all get that? Oh. Louis Armstrong, a.k.a. Satchmo, recorded this song, What a Wonderful World, on ABC Records late in his career at 66 years old, believe it or not. Although it was written many years before, it did not reach popular acclaim until 1998, when this song was featured in Good Morning Vietnam, where it became #1 in the UK, but only reached #2 here in the United States. And that's because the then ABC record president didn't like the song, and it was rarely promoted, believe it or not. What makes this song important to me personally is that early in 2005, before Katrina, my daughter had turned 21, and we had a special brunch at Commander's Palace there in New Orleans. And this little three-piece jazz band walk around singing stuff to everybody. He said, hey, what's the special occasion? And we told him, and he sang this song for us. It was so special, let me tell you. But the rest of the story goes that, believe this or not, years later, when I was in San Antonio at the Riverwalk, I was on military duty back then, and I'm sitting there having a couple of drinks with a couple of my buddies, and I hear this guy's voice. I said, I know this guy's voice. We gotta go find him. And sure enough, a couple of venues down, we go over there, and when he finished his set, I said, excuse me, sir. I said, did you ever work down in New Orleans at Commander's Palace before Katrina? He goes, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I said, well, wow. I said, listen, here's the deal. My daughter turned 21, you sang this song for her, and it was so very special. And he says, I kind of remember something about that, you know? And he says, where's your wife and daughter now? And I said, well, the wife is at home, and the daughter's in Baton Rouge, and my wife is in Georgia, back there in Georgia, where we were. And he said, well, get him on the phone. So I got a three-way phone call, and he sang this song for us, and it was so very special. That's what makes it special for us, and thanks to the music committee for allowing us to do it today. But you know, an interesting story about Satchmo. He doesn't play trumpet on this song, but there is a trumpet solo. I was supposed to play the euphonium today, but my fingers wouldn't work. So, sorry. And I didn't want to insult you all while I'm playing the music tonight. But Satchmo, when he recorded the song, he had his trumpet in his hand. And he always had the trumpet, whether he was playing on the song or not, in the recording studio, during the recording sessions, and live performances, even though he didn't play it. So, interesting point, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
Do you want us to play our air phone?
Simon was one of the most prolific songwriters of the 1960s. For most of the songs that he performed with Art Garfunkel, with Such a Sound of Silence, which we just sang for you, he wrote both the words and the music. An exception to that is our next number, El Condor. The tune of this song has an interesting history. According to an article I found in Wikipedia, it was written in 1913. The music was as an instrumental by a Peruvian composer. His name was Daniel Robles, and it was based on an old Peruvian folk song. The Spanish words about a love-smitten condor were written by someone else for a musical performance that they were to do. Anyway, decades later, Paul became familiar with this popular melody, and he mistakenly thought he received permission to use it, incorporating his own words that he wrote for a song that he and Art would record. The lyrics of this song don't have anything to do with a large bird in South America, but anyway, somewhat later, the son of the original composer successfully sued Simon for copyright violations. Like I said, you know, Paul thought that he had permission. But anyway, so they did settle out of court very amicably, and the family was able to receive benefit from this popularity. And then subsequently, a number of years later, the son who sued him wrote new Spanish lyrics based on Paul Simon's words. So anyway, we're going to sing El Condor.
You want to sing our song?
Yeah, oh, okay.
Would you all like to hear our song?
The way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that make your head pirate.
Guys like us, we haven't made. Those were the days. Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
Cheer was sour and great. Those were the days. Those were girls and him were men. Toilet Hoover again. Didn't seem to be content. $50 paid the rent. Freaks were in a section tent. Those were the days.
Take a little Sunday
Gonna watch the Dodgers win.
and sound the living dead and
Caught you as nothing.
They were short and skirts were long.
On the road where grass are long. Those were the days.
Country music is not the most popular form of music in Brooklyn, where me and Archie live. But we knew we needed to do something special to satisfy y'all down here in Texas.
So for our next number, the singer's going to perform a medley of country tunes called Forever Country. Y'all are going to recognize some of these things from the works of John Denver and Dolly Parton and fellow Texan Willie Nelson. Y'all enjoy it out here. Get it, Charlie.
Not that I'm vertically challenged or anything. This pop song, written in 1977 in about 45 minutes by Amanda McBoom, was made popular by Bette Midler in the 1979 film The Rose. Interestingly enough, it was not written for the movie. It received the Golden Globe Award for Best Original Song and has been recorded by many artists. Dean Jones on the piano will be accompanying on the piano. Dean is also so gracious to give his time and talent. Thank you, Dean. We give you The Rose. Some say love, it is a river that draws the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a There's a lot of thank yous before our final number. Thank you to the many people who have come. We appreciate your support. Thank you to the many people involved in the creation of this program. Today does not happen without the sacrifices of our choir members, their spouse, significant others, and family. As I mentioned, each committee, please wave your hand if you're active on it for our audience to know who you are that have helped create this. Our music selection committee started over a year ago considering various songs. Dean Jones, our accompanist, and Lynn Handwork, our accompanist at practices, are also important to the choir's sound. Our technology committee sets up our sound system and plays the recorded backgrounds for every rehearsal and performance. Our publicity committee, guided by Carl Cartledge, including Barb Sobokowiak, for today's program, and social media, along with Jeannie Nishoka, for designing the poster for our sold-out crowd. We thank you. Ginny Foley, our president, works diligently to keep us on track. She's helped us build us to what we are today and works with the board members and committee chairs. Today's event was proposed for several years by Charlie Gracie, today's event chairman. A special thanks to Alan Sturdivant, who stepped in at the last minute to help us out due to two of our tenors being out ill. We also want to thank the refreshment organizers, Judy Gracie, Dean Jones, and Dan Nath for our peach sangria. Thanks also to Lynn Handwork and Shay Fagundes for their help with ticket taking, as well as members who help provide refreshments today. Ray Breyer is also appreciated for his video and picture taking of today's performance. Thank you. And a heartfelt thank you to a most important person, our director, Cynthia Laurel, who's not a Sweetgrass resident. She volunteers her time and expertise with us every week. Please accept our token of appreciation. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you all for coming today. If you're inspired or enjoyed today, feel free to join us on Tuesday evening practices at 5 p.m. We often use recordings for our music and are always on the lookout for additional accompaniments. There's still plenty of refreshments in the back, so come back there, enjoy, and thank you for your support. Our final song has been considered almost a second national anthem by many people. God Bless America was written by Irving Berlin, who first composed the song after he gained U.S. citizenship in 1918, after moving to the U.S. with his family to escape persecution in Russia. He did not publish it until after updating it in 1938 as war was breaking out in Europe. It was made popular by Kate Smith during World War II. This arrangement begins with the chorus of America the Beautiful, before continuing with the lesser-known verse into God Bless America.